May we talk about animus in America? Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And knowing that I was going to talk about animus, I went to the web and I looked up the definition of animus, and I was surprised by one of the definitions, but it absolutely fits what our situation is here in America. Two definitions. One, animus, hostility or ill feeling. That's the one most people know. Here's the one I wasn't sure of. Motivation to do something. My goodness. When we take a look at the two different philosophies going on and controlling this COVID-19, we have the experts on one hand who say that we are knee-deep in it, and it's the first wave, it's not the second wave, it's getting worse and worse and worse, we need to do something now. And then on the other hand, we have you-know-who, Mr. President. Now, when you take a look at the results of the things that he said and what's happened, he's been pretty much wrong on every front. Okay, hey, we got 15 people, this thing's going away, it's not an issue. Hey, we want to open this country up by Easter. I can see us in church in Easter. Hey, you know what? Let's have a rally where we have a zillion people all bunched together so they can give me a high five and clap for me and hopefully get me reelected. Doesn't matter to me actually whether or not they're able to get tested. It doesn't matter to me whether they get the virus. What I'm really interested in is their vote. And hey, we've had, a whole bunch of cases. 99% of them are harmless. 99% of them are harmless. He's focused on short-term economic recovery. Is this a philosophy that we want to trust? We can see that it's not working. The places where they weren't focused on short-term recovery, which were like Massachusetts, which is down to a 2% positive rating when people get tested, or the New York area, where they're down to about 1%. Now keep in mind, these were places that were just booming with the virus a few months ago. So what happened when we gave a wink and a nod and we said, hey, let's open this puppy up, let's get people back to work, let's rush into it, we want to get that economy going. What happened? Well, the states that opened up early, the governor of Florida said, hey, we're not New York City. No, you are now, all right? People in Arizona, they open up too soon. People in Texas open up too soon. Come on. We need to understand that this thing requires patience, requires time. So what's the next thing we want to do? Hey, I'm going to put pressure on the governors to open up the schools for our kids. Really? Are we? I'm not going to take any action myself. I'm going to put pressure on them. So what he does is, from his bully pulpit, says this is what I want to see happen, doesn't do anything about it, doesn't take any responsibility for it, so that he can finger point when it doesn't work out. Notice he's not taking any blame for the number of cases. He's not even acknowledging that there are more cases. Hey, we got this thing under control. We're in a good place. The number of deaths have started to, the percentage of deaths have started to go down. The cases are skyrocketing, but the number of deaths have gone down. What do you think is going to happen if, let's say, you have even a 1% people that die from this thing? So if you have 1% of 100 people, that's not so many people. If you have 1% of a couple of 100,000 people, that's a more significant number, isn't it? And that number is growing every single day. Not only that, it's growing with our young people because they're itchy. They can't wait to get out there. So right now we've been able to keep our kids under lock and key pretty much, for those people that are being vigilant, here's the key word, vigilant with their children. But now we want to get them to go back to school. Now, would you please tell me what's going to happen? A couple of months ago, I did my crystal ball thing. I made a prediction. I said, and this was when Georgia was about to open, like right away, right now. I said, what do you think is going to happen when these people open? I said, and then at the end I said, you know what, I'm not going to charge you for this session because you don't need to be a fortune teller to figure out what's going to happen. You don't need to be a fortune teller to figure out what's going to happen when we reopen the schools too soon. In Florida, he wants to reopen the schools right now. What do you think is going to happen? Can you tell kids, hey, you got to maintain your social distance. Hey, you got to be wearing your mask at all times. You know, you can't tell little kids that. They're not going to be able to maintain that discipline. I can't even tell Eli to do that. He's a teenager. He'll be 16 going back to school. What do you think? He's not going to want to go and talk to girls. He's not going to want to go and talk to his posse. You don't think those things are going to happen? And then when those people catch it and the teachers catch it, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to spiral out of control, and it's just, the numbers are just going to explode. You can't just say, hey, let's protect the people in the nursing homes, you know, and make sure nobody goes in there. You can't do that, because if you have one segment of society that has the virus, there's going to be interactions with the entire segment of society. So we're about solutions here on Project Eli. So what is the solution? The solution is a grassroots revolution. And if surviving makes me a left-wing radical, then so be it. Repetition means extinction in this case, and repeating the same activity and hoping for a different result is pure blindness. And that's the direction that we're heading in. So what do? Well, my recommendation is you call, you write, you send emails, you send Snapchats, whatever social media is at your fingertips, to anyone that's in a position of power, that's decision making. You let them know the way you feel. We need to have a revolution. You can't go and protest now, because if you do that, you're going to catch it. So you can't do that. So what is the move that you need to make? You need to bombard the governors, the legislators, the senators, the local representatives, the mayors. You need to bombard these people with the fact that you have common sense, that you're not going to do stupid things, and that they need to take action, or they will be sitting on the sidelines. That needs to be made clear. We need a revolution, because the top brass is not getting the job done. They have a deaf ear and they have a blindness. And what's happening is that posture is causing tremendous animus. Division doesn't solve problems. It multiplies them. What we need is a unity of action, like they took in Canada, like they took in South Korea, like they take in China. We need unity, not division. Division causes animus, hate and anger, and hopefully a willingness to go out and do something. So take some action. Don't just sit there. Write, call, email, Snapchat, whatever you can do to the powers that be. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, get out there, make your voice heard, and charge! I'm Eli's dad.